These are nice. Oh, it handles nice, huh?
Dream.
Welcome to Sitka, Alaska. It's New Year's Day,
It is.
It is
January 1st, 2015, and Evan and I had the privilege of bringing Calder, Tom and Karen's new RV hauler, to them here in Sitka. And I'd like to introduce you to both of them today, and most importantly, I'd like you to hear about the big adventures that they have planned for their truck and future trailer. Well, we've had a bit of a rainy day today.
A bit.
Today was the first day that Calder really hit the road here. He has
Yes.
so far managed to put on 14 miles of traveling in various directions. We've gone
Yeah.
from one end of Sitka to the other,
So I think that's
haven't we?
28.
40, yes,
Because
from
it's
one end to
7
the
out
other
to the north, 14 to the other end,
and
and
back.
then 7 back. So
Well-
at
They
least
put the miles
30
on.
miles.
That is not the plan.
No. That is not.
Calder is going to be going a little bit further afield.
Yes, it is.
Karen, tell us about what your plans are.
Okay, well, our plan is, first of all, we live on an island, and I have a husband who doesn't want to get on airplanes, not for any fear, just pure comfort. And we have the Alaska Marine Highway, which is a ferry system where we can drive onto the ferry, which is how Calder got here with Evan and Greg, driving it to Prince Rupert and then coming up. So our plan is, starting in June 8th, we're gonna get on the ferry, go to Prince Rupert, and probably drive down towards the Washington area where we have family. And then we're not quite sure how long this summer we're gonna be out, but we'll have to come back up here for a while. And I've already noticed that the really nice thing about Calder, as well as being a great truck, is that we can crawl in the back and there's these 2 very comfortable beds in the back. So we don't have to worry about staying in hotels or in a leaky tent or anything like that. And the dogs are gonna love it, we're gonna love it, and my husband's gonna love it because he does not have to get on an airplane. We can just go on the ferry and drive straight through. And we love driving through Canada. So my first trip planned for us, and I think Tom is buying into this right now, is that I want to go to the 5 sites that have the Lost Bird Project sculptures. And one of those sculptures is in Newfoundland, in the Maritimes. And so the plan is that is the furthest we're going to go back east. And then the other 4 sculptures are down in Virginia and Ohio, and there's one in Florida. So we're going to visit all 5 of those on one of our first trips. So that'll be a pretty good lengthy trip. But then we'll probably spend more time back out in the Pacific Northwest because that's what we really like. But that's my first trip. That's my first plan.
Well, Tom, I got the phone call from you one evening.
Yes.
That was about one of the fastest phone calls I've ever had with a prospective customer. You told me that you've watched every one of my videos. You poor soul.
Oh, no. I enjoy everyone.
But he's watched them at least 5 times each. I need to point that out.
They're great, Greg.
How-
And,
How did things work out? You
Oh
had
my
a chance
gosh.
to drive today.
it's almost indescribable at times. You know, you think, well, you know, you've driven a lot of different things, and I mean, I have a pretty nice pickup, but brother, this thing is it's a joy. And we really haven't, I haven't too big an area to go driving in, but the short time that we have been able to do it, and a couple little hills and different things going on, but it's a wonderful truck. And Greg does a wonderful job. And we had never seen the truck until it got off the ferry yesterday. Mm-hmm. And we've done everything by phone, by email, and it's been a wonderful experience. And I recommend it to anybody that has any ideas of doing this type of thing. This is Well, it's beyond anything I guess I really thought I was gonna ever have. We looked at other types of things for doing this thing we wanna do, but, this is, it's an amazing piece
It's
of
gonna be a
machinery.
good rig, isn't
And
it?
it's gonna be wonderful.
Yeah.
Just tell us about what you're gonna maybe pull behind it. You've got some plans here.
Well, we do. We have some plans. We're looking at a new Keystone Raptor, the new model there, the 425 TS. You know, that's available, and we like it set up the way it is. We like the fibers, and we think that'll be it's 40 some feet, 41 feet. And of course, this truck will handle it easily. We feel that it will be comfortable. It's well within the range of the things that we've thought about, and it's kind of where we're going to go from there. Start out there, I guess. And,
We haven't put our house up for sale yet.
no, put no house up for sale.
So,
But
we'll see where it goes in a year or two. And
right.
I'm all for just being in an RV.
Well, you folks have lived in a little bit of shorter vehicles before,
Yeah.
but tell us about that.
Well, we lived on a 42-foot tri-cabin monk wooden boat for 7 years. 5 years here in Sitka and a couple years over in Thorn Bay and Ketchikan. And we've had various sailboats. We lived on a sailboat for a year in Washington and Canada, up through the Gulf Islands and Saanich Peninsula, that area, and Vancouver Island. We lived in a tent for a while, and we lived in a 20, how long was that trailer?
You said 28 foot, wasn't it?
28-foot
Oh,
trailer.
yeah.
For over a year. We lived in his folks' Bluebird bus for about 6 months. That was in Southern California, so that was a little easy because you could just go out into the pool when you needed some space. But, you know, that's another thing we're looking for, at least I am, because I love the beach areas and especially in the Pacific Northwest. But we're talking about some of maybe the beaches in the winter towards Florida or someplace a little warmer. So we'll see how long the house lasts as a spot to return.
It's base.
It's a base. It's not always an easy base here in Sitka, but it's a good place to be. We still have our boat here, our whaler, and but we're excited. The grandkids are excited. They're going to have a camping trailer with Grandma and Grandpa, and you know, it should all be fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you for the privilege of putting your Calder RV hauler together. And I'm so glad you asked me to bring your RV hauler to you. That was
We had a
an
little bit
incredible
back and
treat.
forth on that one, didn't we, Greg, to start with? I think I told you, yeah, I wanted it here, and then I told you that, well, we wanted to go to Washington, and you
Yeah.
said,
Oh,
Washington, that'd be kind of boring. And
I was
decided-
bummed.
Yeah, and Tom wanted it in the driveway so he could
Well,
touch
yeah.
it. So that was
It's gotta go.
really the biggest thing. And because you were so gracious in many of the things you helped us do with Calder,
It's been
they need to come up here. They want
Great.
to come up here.
experience.
Yeah. So, no problem.
Well, thank you both.
Yep. Thank
And I
you.
wish you safe travels
Yeah.
and more adventure near water for you.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank
Yes,
you.
we know you like that.
Thank you.